One of the biggest camp battles that I'm watching right now, because of my boy Keenan Allen, of course, is the 49ers wide receiver situation. And that's one I wanted to bring up first, and then you guys can think about which ones you want to talk about. But I want to talk about this one specifically because Ayuk's not there, right? Jennings, not there. Pearsall is hurt.
Hopeless, yeah.
Who's running routes for Brock Purdy right now? Is George Kittle working outside at X? Like, what? What's the situation for the 49ers wide receiver 1 from what you know, Tony, as of right now? Who is running routes?
Ronnie Bell from Michigan, the guy who kept dropping balls last year. Like, it's funny. Like, when I'll get text messages about, because I support the Michigan guys. They're like, I thought you told me the Michigan guys were good. I'm like, yeah, they were good on Michigan. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, same thing with Jake Moody. You guys are always busting my balls about Jake Moody.
But you're not wrong. You're not wrong very often. So that's one that we got to hold you to forever. But Joe, go ahead.
He was so good. He was.
But when you draft a kicker there, you fuck him up. It's too much expectation.
He was so good at Michigan.
Yeah, because Ayuk's hurt, Pearsall's hurt. Juwan Jennings is asking for more money. He's holding out.
The thing about Ayuk, Joe, is
Marcus Robinson, who's in legal trouble. So you have those 4.
Ayuk's body is hurt, but I think Ayuk's pride is completely demolished. I don't think he wants to play for the Niners, and I don't think the Niners want him to play for them.
So I can't get my Wi-Fi to work, but there was a message that came out on Brandon Ayuk that, okay, here it is. We're not anywhere close to having a concrete timeline. That's what the general manager said about Brandon Ayuk.
They shouldn't have signed him. They should have traded him. You can tell that neither side is happy with what's happened or what's happening or where we're going.
But he didn't. That's the thing, is like, they wanted to move him to like the Browns or something.
And he fucked it.
Amari Cooper in the deal.
Yeah.
And then there was rumors that like the Patriots weren't on it, but he didn't want to go there. Like, he wants to be paid. And he wants to play for a good winning organization. He gets that part. And when he's healthy, he's a very good football player. Like, this knee injury it's pretty aggressive. It's going to be interesting to see how he bounces back. But like, if this is Juwan Jennings knows, like, hey, I might not be a $35 million a year receiver, but I'm looking around and it is my time to strike right now. His agent is like, you need to get paid because you are going to be the guy. And this is your opportunity to maybe take that number closer to $18 to $20 million a year, as opposed to whatever, $5-7 million you're getting now, which is.
I'm glad you say that. I'm glad you say that, because I personally think that the Niners' best way forward, they should just basically trade Ayuk to anyone that will take him. They should eat the money, and they should just run it with Jennings and Pearsall. I think they'll have a great season with those two out wide. You keep Kittle heavily involved. CMC is going to be healthy again this year. That's what people forget about the Niners, is if CMC stays healthy, they're a completely different offense right there with just that one player. Let alone, if you get some of this negativity out, like, you get Debo out, which I don't think Debo was that much of a problem as people make him seem. Ayuk seems to be a problem. And it's almost every time this comes up with the GM, every time this comes up with the coach, every time this comes up with Ayuk, it's an awkward answer. It's an awkward answer where everyone is not saying what they actually feel. They need to trade him. This is a situation that's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And pay Jennings. Jennings has been a stud for you. You're not going to have to overpay him. You'll have Ricky Pearsall there for multiple years on his rookie contract, and you have a good 1-2 punch. I think Pearsall's a really good receiver, though. That's the basis of this argument, is that I think Pearsall can be better than Ayuk eventually. So that's kind of, if he flops, then I'm going to ruin the 49ers with this move.
Go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
Sometimes you hold a team together too long, and you should have blown it up a long time ago. And this is something that the Niners should have done. We're looking at the Niners, and we're expecting them to be a good team, right? Or people, like, we're expecting them to be back to where they were. But no, they're not. They're basically, right now, if you look at the Niners roster, they're the third place team in that division. They're not that great of a team. They got some big holes. And when you're looking at this wide receiver, blow it up. It's get rid of Ayuk, do what you got to do, go younger, go with the younger players. Hell, you should have even traded Christian McCaffrey this offseason if you wanted to. You should have. This is something you should have just rebuilt this team and gone away with it. But I think this whole season is. I don't have a lot of expectations for the San Francisco 49ers this year. With Kyle Shanahan as their coach, they're always going to be in a game. and he can outcoach some people and win some games that their talent probably haven't got him. But this is a Niner team that needs to be it needs to be rebuilt.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's going to start here soon. It's kind of crazy to pay Brock Purdy at the front of the rebuild, but we'll see how that pans out. But I'm with you, Joe. I think especially the wide receiver part, we should probably get that addressed because they're going to be a competitive team as healthy as they can stay this year. But it's just kicking a big explosion of a can down the road. I mean, this thing is going to happen eventually, whether they like it or not, just because of age.
Yeah. What do you got for us, Tony?
So I just want to look at the depth chart and make sure I had the names right. Jacob Cowling, Arizona State wide receiver, fast. It could be interesting for them. Doesn't really solve some of the issues that they're having. Like he's not an X receiver. Isaiah Nair, he's like 6'4", runs really fast. Nebraska receiver that I like in the draft, but I think he was like an undrafted free agent. And then is this Owens? Terrell Owens?
Terrell Owens' son?
Yeah, I don't know how to say his first name. Tariq? I don't know. Tariq Owens. And
they got a bunch of no names that only people who study the NFL draft getting ready for the draft are going to know about.
Yeah, exactly. Like this year, Isaiah Hodgins.
Oh shit! Never mind. The Niners are set. They're good. They got Isaiah.
That's not your guy. This guy is, I believe.
Never mind. Back to the
shitter. I think this is a free agent for this year. But like the 49ers season is going to come down to like, can Christian McCaffrey stay healthy? If this guy can play 15 to 17 games for them, the 49ers are going to be fine. I love the investments that they made. I know people didn't love their draft, but like I did. I thought they invested heavily on the defensive side of the football. And then it just comes down to, can you keep Kittle and McCaffrey healthy? And one thing that I hope Kyle Shanahan learns, when you're up 14 points in the fourth quarter, give the ball to Garendo. Stop feeding Christian McCaffrey when you have 14-point leads in the volume down. Give the ball to the next man on the roster, and even if it's not got a chance to be as explosive, just go to the next guy.
I have CMC on my dynasty league.
But he can't help you if he's getting injured because he's touching the ball 30 times. And
you're right. He is my RB3 on that team. So
yeah,
we're doing all right. But we'll see how the 49ers do. I think this wide receiver situation is interesting. If Keenan Allen does not sign with the Chargers, this is where I want him to sign. It would be so much fun to see him in the Shanahan offense and have another good season before it's over and not go somewhere like the Raiders.
I would be good with that, actually. If he was on the 49ers.
Joe, is there any camp battles outside of the Raiders and Chargers and Niners that are really getting you hard?
Excuse me?
I mean, are they that are exciting you to the point that you want to bring it up on the show?
I don't know why I'm interested in it because I don't give a damn about it really, but I've always I want to see what Cleveland does at quarterback.
Yeah,
like that's interesting to me.
I have a video on that coming out today. It's going to be funny, exciting.
Like even though all the hate on Shador, I kind of want him to win the battle. Like, I kind of want to see him win the battle. I don't think he will, but it would be funny if he does, right? Like, it would just be another thing that Cleveland does. So I want to see that. What else around the league?
Even if Shador wins the battle for QB2, that would be great. Like, if it's Flacco and then Shador's the backup to start the season, that would be awesome.
As far as like the Cleveland battle goes, like, you have to start Flacco to start the season.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot put out one of these rookies in week one.
Or Watson.
Wait, what?
Like, is Watson an option to start week one still or no?
No. He has a torn Achilles or whatever. Like, he's done. I'm talking about they have 4 possible options. I'm
trying to see my TikToks here. Give me some.
There's no chance. Maybe a UFL. Maybe he'll play for the.
That would be sick if he goes to the UFL and still sucks.
Oh no, that would be. That's. I don't want to talk about Watson. I want to talk about the Browns, the 4 guys that are there. You have to put Flacco out there because if you're a veteran on this team and you're like, yeah, we're starting Dylan Gabriel week 1 or Shedeur Sanders week 1. I just think that you get 2-3 weeks into the season And then you have to keep all of these guys motivated and focused and everything, like fighting every week for the next 3 months. That's really tough to do, I think. You have to give some hope.
You also run into a Bryce Young situation there where if Flacco starts as the backup and the rookie struggles, people are demanding Flacco in like Dalton. And then if the other way around, Flacco struggles, now you get a fresh start with Shadur or a fresh start with Dylan Gabriel in the middle of the season versus, the attitude of your rookie who you had promised for failing and you putting in Andy Dalton. I will never agree with benching Bryce Young in that moment. And I think it might have ruined his whole career.
If what?
Them benching him in the middle of the season for no reason.
Yeah, to go and whoop the Raiders' ass.
Exactly.
One of the worst. That's probably one of the worst games I've been to in my life as a Raider fan.
The worst game I've been to in my life was also a Raider game, Joe.
I remember talking to Joe after that game. He's like, I don't even know what that was the biggest bunch of shit. I was like,
that was NFLMike's pick'em's curse right there, Joe. The pick change curse.
I'm having,
right there. That and then a Bears game a few years ago kind of proves that I could use.
Oh, that Bears game was bad too. Yeah.
I'm having trouble bringing up the Browns schedule, but I do think that there is like a week 5 or week 6 spot where you could get one of the rookies or Kenny Pickett in there. To me, like, I've never really understood the Kenny Pickett signing if you were going to bring in Joe Flacco, because you're not going to be able to carry 4, but then you draft 2. The Browns just continue to do things that I don't understand. They're the ones that gave Carson Schlesinger the fully guaranteed contract that started all the second round nonsense. It's like the Browns are just kind of always doing things that are a little complex for, a simpleton like me to understand. I do have a camp battle that I would like to talk about. Just let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead. No, that's fine. That's enough on the Browns. What the hell?
Okay. The quarterback battle for the New York Giants, because I think that Russ gives them the best chance to be successful, the best chance for that head coach and his GM to keep the job. But like, I would just like to see Jackson Dart play. So week 5, they get to play the Saints on the road. And I think that might be the first opportunity, because you play the Commanders, the Cowboys, and the Chiefs, and then the Chargers for the first 4 weeks. I don't think you want your rookie out there for those 4 games. Like,
yeah, you don't even want Russ out there for those 4 games, but
yeah, I mean, you got to worry about Dan Quinn though. Like, he's going to do he's going to make it tough on a rookie in his opening game on the road, and then you get the Cowboys on the road. Micah Parsons, newest highest paid player, non-quarterback in the league. He'll be out there balling. Then you get you get to come home. Hey, finally, and you get the Chiefs, and then you get the Chargers the week after that, where it's like you're gonna have Khalil Mack and Derwin James and everybody else making your life difficult. So week 5 is kind of is it Jackson Dart time? Like, are the Giants 1-3 and Russ isn't looking tremendous? Do you go that route? And like, is Jackson Dart, was he just sort of like, is he Kenny Pickett all over again? Is this that kind of draft where it's like we weren't really sure what to do, so we just sort of took the QB in this spot? Because we'll know pretty soon like how that's going to work out for Brian Dable and Joe Shane in that situation. But when you have a wide receiver like Malik Neighbors, it's like you might be able to get away with it. Like, he might be able to piece something together, like with what he did with Daniel Jones, and they can play really good defense and use the quarterback run game a little bit. I don't know. There's a little Scattaboo action. He starts coming on in week 5, and maybe Jackson Dart works out. That's something I'm interested to see. But I think it would be nuts if he plays so good in the preseason and then Russ is like on the sidelines as the backup. I think he might ask to be cut, and then they would just go with Jameis as the game day backup. Like, I don't know if Wilson could stand there on the sidelines healthy and play.
You don't
second.
think Russ is a good teammate that could just like build the rookie up and root for him the whole season? You don't think Russ can do that?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know Russ personally. I don't think I think it would be weird. I think it would be uncomfortable as a fan to watch it.
This is a guy who knows he's not playing preseason games, suits up anyways, Tony. It's a great teammate.
Oh, the Giants defense looks scary too. So that could help out a rookie quarterback a ton. Their defense looks like it's going to come together this year. We'll see if it comes to fruition, and they still have the D coordinator, right?
Can they win games 18-15?
The defensive line is
possible.
Yeah, defensive line
looks good.
That's
an interesting one. I'm glad you brought it up, Tony, because I would have taken Shedeur Sanders over Jackson Dart. So that's something else to watch. Like, was that the right choice? Like you're saying, when they did that, was that just the only option on the board, or do they actually love Dart the way they're saying? Because Brian Daboll's making it seem like that was their dream quarterback to get in the draft. So we'll see. We'll see.
I like Dart in college, so
they traded back in for him. It's going to be interesting because of the difference between going from Lane Kiffin's offense to going to the NFL. But I mean, obviously, you can throw a lot of those quick screens to Malik Neighbors, and he'll just go 50, 60 yards to the house. So if you can find a way to work that into the offense, then you can have success.
Yeah, and why was everyone so excited about Coach Daboll in the first place when he was coming out to become a head coach versus being the offensive coordinator? The fact that he had already shown that he can take someone like Josh Allen, who's just kind of a wild, raw talent, and turn him into an elite quarterback. So if he could do that again, I will die thinking that Daniel Jones was pretty unfixable at the point that Brian Daboll got him. So we'll see if he can make it happen with Jackson Dart. Another one I wanted to shout out here, I'm watching for fantasy purposes, is the Cowboys running back one battle. I don't believe in Javonte Williams taking over that. I don't believe in Miles Sanders just completely taking over that. Although I do think Miles Sanders is an underrated back that probably starts as the RB1. I'm excited to see how Jadon Blue works his way in there in the preseason, works his way in there during camp, and then maybe 4 weeks in, let's see what this kid can do if he's healthy, because when he put his tape on, it is electric. And it is a lot like some of the Cowboys running backs that we're used to seeing out there. I think that could be a battle where a rookie gets up there way quicker than we expect as well.
So I see Blue as like a smaller Tony Pollard type, where I don't know if Jadon Blue is going to be able to carry the ball 15 to 20 times a game, but if you can design 10 to 12 touches where it's like maybe 8 carries and 4 design looks in the pass game would be nice. I do think Javonte Williams is going to win this job. Like I just think he's a better running back or the best running back they have on the roster. And it's all going to come down to whether or not it's healthy. And I think one of the strong things about the Cowboys is that offensive line, you know? Now, the interesting part about this is like when you add George Pickens, I think that helps the run game. Not just because every once in a while he decides to become like the all-time best wide receiving, blocking option in the history of the game, but like you are going to have CeeDee Lamb and Ferguson and Pickens. If you can have all three of those guys healthy at the same time, you might be able to get some lighter boxes and have some success for both those guys. But I think week 1, I think the majority of the carries are going to be Javonte Williams. If everybody's healthy, I think he's going to be the starter.
That's good news, Tony. That's great news. We won't be trying to go for the same running back. I'll be drafting Miles Sanders. You'll be drafting Javonte Williams. We'll be drafting different people.
I'll draft Blue.
And he draft Blue. We'll see how it works out. One of them's going to work. So one of them's going to end up being the lead back. Another one that I think is really interesting that people aren't talking about that much. The Packers wide receiver 1 battle has been going on for a couple of years. This is the year where someone's going to separate. And I think it's going to be Golden. I really do when you watch what he did on tape in college. But Watson's still in there. Reed is still in there. Wicks is still in there. And Dobbs is still kind of in the mix there. I think that's an interesting one because all those wide receivers are very talented and have shown us some potential to step up into that spot. Like all of them have shown us potential to be the Packers franchise wide receiver. But, they just drafted one in the first round also. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Joe, which one of those guys is your favorite receiver in Green Bay?
So my thing is, all these teams that are wide receiver hungry right now, why aren't you calling Green Bay? Why aren't you calling Green Bay? At least getting Dobbs.
I would want one of those.
We saw what happened with Dobbs last season. Go out and at least get him that way. So I've done a couple of mock drafts already. I know it's July, but I've already done a couple mock drafts. And when I get to a certain round, I'm looking at the Packers wide receivers. And there's two names that I trust in Green Bay. There's only two names that I would even want on my fantasy team right now. And one of them is Reed, and the other one is Golden. And I go back and forth when I'm looking at them because most of the time when I'm on the clock, both of them are sitting there, and I have to go back. Right now, I've been taking Reed as the guy I've been drafting just because he's there, and there's still question mark of how Golden's going to be used, what a rookie coming in. So I've been taking Reed. But I think those two are at the top of your depth chart of who you're going to take. And then I would say by the end of the year, Golden would probably be your number one guy when all the dust settles down. But those are the two that I really like in Green Bay is Reed and Golden.
I'm here for it too. I think that Golden's hype probably is going to get too high for me by the time we get to fantasy football drafts, and then I'm not going to draft him. Really, who I want in that offense out of all of this additions, the passing and all that I want Josh Jacobs. Give me Josh Jacobs. Yeah. Everyone else focus on this stuff, and I'll take the freaking guy that's going to get 1,500 yards in his sleep.
I like Tucker Kraft late. I think he's a good tight end and has a chance to keep getting better there. Musgrave has never been healthy enough to really make a dent for me to be scared. I would probably draft Golden just for the, maybe if Golden can be my wide receiver 4 for talking fantasy football, then I'm good with that, right? I think by the end of the year, he can be that sort of second half, consistent 8 targets a game type of a player where they're, having a real game plan for him each week. But they have the ability and the luxury to sort of ease him into the game. Like they did draft him in the first round, but there's no need to just be like, hey, this week we've got, a big game plan for you. You have to be taking on all this stuff. It's like, no, be the second, third option on a lot of these different plays here because they have so many receivers that are all good that can do a little bit different things really, really well. So they're hoping that he's the one guy that can do all of the things really, really well. But we'll see. I would draft Golden.
I'm on Golden too. Okay, so I think that's basically all the big ones. There's a few more, but I think the one last prediction that I want, especially from Tony Tucker, Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones. Tony Tucker's fan favorite QB battle is going down in Indianapolis. This is insane. Tony, 2 top 5 picks that only you believe in versus the rest of the world, pretty much. So and now they have to take each other out.
Daniel Jones is I kind of just want him to be good because everybody hates him so much. It makes me drives my brain crazy how much people hate him. And I get it. He hasn't been very good. I think that he's just going to win based on availability. It doesn't seem like Anthony Richardson is ever fully healthy to be there. Anthony Richardson was the guy that I traded a bunch of draft picks in Dynasty to move up and draft him because I was like, Shane Steichen, this guy's going to be like Jalen Hurts 2.0. This is going to be amazing. What he's going to do. And it has not worked out. I do not believe that he's going to win the job. I think Shane Steichen is going to try to make him be this year's Baker Mayfield or whoever, that quarterback that hits another spot, the Geno Smith from a few years ago, and figures it out. And I think that they're going to use a lot of the run game with Daniel Jones. He's shown that can be an asset for him. Not quite as good as Anthony Richardson, but I do think he'll be a little bit better at getting the football to the fact that they have so many good pass catchers on that team, but you forget about it because the ball might be 15 yards over their head on a 10-yard in cut. It's like, where was that going? You see receivers on there, they're not, is there somebody behind me on this? They're like, that should be to me in this route concept. There shouldn't be anybody. And it's sure enough, the ball is missing everybody. And it's Anthony Richardson could figure that part out, could get the accuracy down. I still believe he could be a really good quarterback. I think that just might have to be with the Rams or somebody else. It just might not be with the Colts. And
it's Daniel, the Chargers fans. If Quentin Johnson could just learn how to catch the ball, then he'll be a good receiver. So, if Anthony Richardson could figure out how to throw the ball, he'd be a good quarterback.
Bill Flames, I went Mike on the mic. With something brand new, one time for your mind. He gave you fair warning. Now it's time to smack him in the mouth with that raw sports talk from the town. Sweet chin music to your favorite sportscaster.